Hello everybody, and welcome back to Grimm's Garage. And today on MOTU Monday, I've got a variety of 4 figures to open, observe, and enjoy today. We've got 2 Origin Series cartoon figures, 1 regular Origin Series, and a TOG, or Turtles of Greyskull figure. And I'm going to take a quick look at the figures in the packages, look at the packages, and I'll cut to them, out of them, and we'll take a quick look at our beautiful new toys. First off, we have Man-at-Arms, Heroic Master of Weapons for the Cartoon Collection series. I gotta admit, I think for the cartoon series, he is the most representable to the original one. I think he looks most like his original action figure than any other of the cartoon line so far. I don't have many cartoon series. I do have Skeletor on this card back. I'm missing these two. I did originally choose not to collect the cartoon series. I thought it was a bit much. I can't find everything for their origins. So I was like, oh, another line? Oh, I can't afford that. I'm not going to do it. But turns out I only hunt locally. I don't buy online. And I have not been able to find the regular Origin Series figures enough. But sometimes I do find these. And although I'm broke because of me and my wife's medical issues, I do set aside a couple dollars for a figure, and I never find a standard figure, so sometimes I'm like, well, yeah, I'll grab this guy, or that guy, or whatever, and I'm starting to appreciate the cartoon series, or the cartoon collection series. This is Evil Lyn, the evil warrior goddess. A little yellower than I think she should be, but whatever. New cool Evil Lyn. She comes with the shaping staff. Oh, I forgot to mention, all the cartoon series come with an object of some type that was featured within the cartoon. So yeah, in fact, even though this is based on a classic cartoon, I think this was featured on the newer thing. Trying to mix, yeah. I've seen the newer He-Man feature on Netflix where they did the same effect. I forgot to mention, what does he come with? Oh yes, he comes with the stasis ray. You can freeze people in time. Oh. 2 very similar, but very different at the same time weapons. Stasis ray, and like the ability to either freeze somebody or to change the looks of somebody. Cool. Orko. I think, as lame as it is, this is my most exciting opening for today. I've never owned an Orko. Even as a child, owning the originals, I've never even had a friend who had one to play with. I've never experienced owning an Orko, other than like a dollar store little figurine of one to represent it. No. Now, this is quite different from the original accessory-wise, and I'll go into that when we get them open later, but this is pretty cool. And for those collectors of the Origin series, if you see this orange corner, fan favorite, it's much like a video game reissue back in the day. If it was PlayStation 1, a reissue would have a green label. If it was PlayStation 2, reissue would have a red label across the top. Now, this is the Origins reissue, but they realize not a lot of people found what they wanted. It's popular, so let's reissue it for the other collectors to get it again. But unfortunately, they reissue the card by just putting that corner there So for card collectors, you might have 2 different cards to collect simply based on this corner. Or if you're someone like me, I just wanted to have one to open. And yes, I keep the back cards, and I don't mind if it's this one or the original. I don't care. I just wanted the toy. So, a little background on that. Based on his back card, I do have Zodak. I am missing Triclops and Trapjaw. This day before I'll go into his accessories later. And last but not least, we have the Turtles of Greyskull Splinter Skull. Spiritual Sensei. Now, I mean, I was excited to have this in this series, but yeah, I was a little confused as to how he was related to King Greyskull. But this explains it all right there. Basically, he's spectral projecting himself spiritually, because he apparently felt where his turtle sons were and manifested himself into the spirit of King Greyskull. So now he's Splinter Skull. He does come with additional parts for Metal Bato. I love that classic feature of getting pieces to assemble an additional figure if you get them all. Still have some more to get. They've been out, but hard to find in person. And with that, I'll take one moment, get these guys out of the packages, and we'll take a playful observation of them. But first, please take a like and subscribe. You have no idea how much that helps a small channel out like mine. We'll be right back. Alright folks, and we're back. We'll first take a look at the detachable part instruction sheet. Sorry about the camera angle change. I had to adjust the camera, but here we have Man-at-Arms parts swap sheet. Evil Lyn cartoon series for both. Orko and Splinter Skull. Let's take a look at our Man-at-Arms first. Comics first. His is titled Wizard's Vizard. Take a quick look at these. I'm not going to focus on anything really, give anything away. Spoilers. You can pause and try to focus if you like, but this is all I'm giving you. These are the other 4 in that wave offered. I do have Skeletor. I need He-Man and Beast-Man. And here we have our Man-at-Arms cartoon edition, which I have to say, I think of all the cartoon editions, Man-at-Arms does look the most like his original. I believe I may have stated that before, but of course we get a lot more articulation with this new Origin series. Of course, all this orange armor is removable. You see the tabs there. So you can hot swap the armor on other figures. And he is shown here with the Stasis Ray, which sounds like a cool, fun toy for your imagination. Stasis Ray was apparently shown in one of the episodes of the Filmation cartoons, which is what they do with all the cartoon series figures. They include an item with each figure that was featured in one of the episodes. So this is the Stasis Ray. It can freeze people in time. That's explanation of that. He also has a his usual mallet club thing, but it is a lot shorter and stoutier, but more Filmation accurate, cartoon accurate. Next up, we've got Evelyn. We're going to take a look at her comic first. The Shape of Vengeance. Oh, that's some nice stuff going on in there. What is... I'm gonna have to read this. But yeah, out of this 4 series, Evelyn is the only one I got. I don't have any of the other 3 cartoon series. I do have Spike Gore in the Origin series. Nice. Oh, Evelyn. Skin's a lot more yellow than I would expect it to be. Articulation is nice as usual. Sure, we're all familiar with that by now. Surprisingly, her armor is removable. You just gotta snap her waist off and flip it off. She is wearing undergarments, superb, so don't worry about that. But yeah, you can mix and match her armor as well. She's got her normal staff, but she is also beholding her special Filmation item, the Staff of Change, I believe, which she uses to morph enemies to just visually go in cameo of another character. Like, she can make Beastman look like one of the good guys to infiltrate. Next up, we have Orko. His comic is Double Trouble. Take a quick look at some of the artwork on this. No dialogue spoiling. And I have Orko finally. And I do have Zodak. I do need the regular Trapjaw and Triclops. I've got other Trapjaws. This is my very first Orko. I never got to own him back in the day. I had a friend that did. I never had him at all. And basically, this looks much like the classic one. The classic one would have been shaped kind of... well, kind of hard to form his hands, but he would have been like an oh my gosh moment like this. And the difference between the new one and the old one is the old one was just this. I think his arms may have moved up and down from shoulders. The head was static. It was one of those mostly solid figures. But he did have mechanical wheels on the bottom. And he came with a ripcord string that you inserted into him, and you ripped it out, and it activated gears. When you put him down, he would just randomly scramble like he was scared of what the situation was and panicking. And it looked kind of cool. And his other accessory, he came with a little yellow. It looked like a stamper set, but really it was a coin trick, magic trick. It was like a little box with a couple coins on it with He-Man figures as the coin faces. But anyway, this one does have way more articulated arms. 1, 2, 3 points of articulation on each part. And he does have as much as possible, articulated head that, as stated, is removable. But since he doesn't come with a stamp set or a running feature, he comes with a floating display stand, articulated floating display stand. Pop that into there. Yeah, he's floating, and you can articulate and move that around whatever position you want. think that's pretty cool. And the fact that he has basically a waist peg there. Wonder what kind of weird combo creature you can make with this torso by putting a man or woman's legs under there and making that just like a skirt, giving him full human legs. I'll make some weird combos. Let's give him his display case. And last up but not least is Splinter Skull of Turtles of Greyskull. He does not come with comic. These big deluxe packages of the Turtles of Greyskull just come with a thick, like, descriptionary card. Like what would have been on the back of a standard card if it was a standard figure. But it comes in a big box. So they give me this. I keep the box anyway, but this. Take a pause on that. It's got Splinter and Greyskull form powers and features. And here we are. You know what? Let's take a look at this first. A number of these Turtles Greyskull figures come with spare parts to build MOTU, as I stated before. And here are the two parts that come in this one, which is basically his chest and a shield, which doubles as a back shell piece, and weapon rack. Those are all for extra arm attachments, which I have half of. I only have one arm with the weapons that came with mouse jaw. I do have the head. I am still missing another arm and some leg pieces, but yeah, you can take this chest piece off, as I just did, and you can see the gears that would have been in the original guy. If you manipulate that, they will twist. And it also manipulates a gear up here. So apparently when I get all the pieces, the hip twisting will also move all the gears and move the jaw on the head. I've got enough pieces to feature that, but I don't have them all. So I'm personally forbidding myself from putting them all together until I have them all. And we have Splinter Skull. He does come with one extra hand for his left hand, which is more of an open claw for an action moment. But otherwise, his other two hands are in a grasped weapon holding movement. And I believe he's holding the Spear of Greyskull in hand, which splits in two, actually. And yeah, this is a beautiful figure. It's a nice combination of Splinter and King Greyskull. Obviously, the cape is removable. It was separate in the package. Big, beautiful, bushy cape. It's our hand weapon here. And it does split in two. I don't know the purpose of that, but it does. So that is either a feature or a simple manufacturer assembly. Get a closer look at him. Of course, his head does come off, but he's got 3 hair tails. One main ponytail at the back, 2 running forward. Now, it looks like all this clothing was probably molded to his body at some point, but no. It is all removable like any other He-Man figure. So if you want to customize another He-Man figure and give him some rat legs or something, yeah, there you go. There's a standard He-Man cod piece with some rat legs and a tail. The outfit, as standard, is removable. And the same as this. I did it off camera to take a look, but yeah, if you undo that, you can take off his whole silver crosspad piece, and then his shirt undoes. And he's just got a standard brown chest, some beastly arms. We've got some more custom pieces options going on here for fans of the unusual. But yeah, Splinter Skull is definitely awesome. And with that, thank you for joining me today. I hope you'll join me again soon. Please know you're all so much appreciated, and I hope you all have a very good night.